Have you ever felt a strange sense of nostalgia for a place you can't quite remember? Not a childhood memory, not a place you visited, but something deeper. A quiet feeling that somewhere, sometime, you were part of a world where intuition, healing, and wisdom were simply a way of life. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. Many people today feel drawn to the story of Avalon. But what if Avalon was never just a myth? What if Avalon represents something that humanity is beginning to remember again? In the legends of King Arthur, Avalon is described as a mystical island hidden in the mist. It was said to be a place of healing, a place where wisdom was preserved, a place where powerful priestesses and teachers protected sacred knowledge. But Avalon was never just a location on a map. Avalon was an idea, a way of living in harmony with intuition, nature, and inner wisdom. And according to many spiritual traditions, Avalon didn't disappear. It simply withdrew, waiting for the right time to return. The shift happening now. Look around at the world today. More people than ever are exploring meditation, energy healing, intuitive development, and spiritual growth. People are questioning systems that once seemed unquestionable. They're searching for something deeper than productivity, competition, and endless busyness. And many people feel a quiet inner voice saying, there must be another way to live. In many ways, this is what the legend of Avalon has always represented. The return of wisdom that was once pushed aside. The sacred story of Avalon. In the mythic stories, Avalon was a sanctuary, a place where knowledge was preserved when the world was no longer ready for it. The wisdom of intuition, the wisdom of healing, the wisdom of listening to the rhythms of nature and the human heart. When the world turned toward control and domination, those teachings faded into the background. But they were never destroyed. They lived on in stories, symbols, and the quiet knowing of those who felt called to remember. This is why so many people today feel drawn to these teachings again. Not because they are new, but because they are ancient. The map of Avalon. If Avalon represents the journey of remembering our sacred power, we can imagine that journey like traveling through a symbolic landscape. The journey begins in what we might call the mist of forgetting. This is where many people begin. It's the place where intuition feels distant, where we've been taught to doubt our inner voice. But when curiosity awakens, we step into the grove of remembering. This is the moment when people start asking deeper questions about their lives and their purpose. From there, the journey continues to the wells of healing. This is where people begin releasing old wounds, limiting beliefs, and the stories that once held them back. And finally, we reach the path of sacred power. This is where people begin living authentically. They trust their intuition, they share their wisdom, they step into leadership in their own unique way. And at the heart of Avalon lies the Circle of Keepers, a place where wisdom is shared, not controlled, where leadership is not about power over others, but about helping others remember their own strength. In the story of Avalon, there are 7 archetypes that represent different expressions of sacred power. The Rememberer, the Seeker, the Healer, the Guardian, the Truth Speaker, the Wisdom Keeper, the Pathfinder. Each one represents a different way people contribute to the world. Some people heal, some people teach, some people protect truth, some people guide others forward, but together they form a circle, a community of wisdom. The return of Avalon doesn't mean a hidden island suddenly appearing again. It means something much more powerful. It means people choosing to live with authenticity, trusting intuition, healing old wounds, and supporting one another in the journey toward a more balanced and compassionate world. Avalon returns every time someone remembers their sacred power. And perhaps that's why so many people feel called to these stories right now. Because maybe the mist is finally beginning to clear. If this story resonates with you, you may already be walking your own path through Avalon. And I'd love to hear from you. Which part of the journey speaks to you most right now? The remembering, the healing, or stepping into your sacred power? Let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to explore more of these teachings, I'll be sharing more about the return of Avalon here on this channel. Please be sure to like and subscribe